Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka Day. Today's Shloka is Shloka number 40 of chapter 10. Nantosti mama divyanam
Nantosti mama divyanam
vibhutinam parantapa
vibhutinam parantapa
esha tu deshataf proktaha
yesha tuddeshatah proktaha
vibhuter vistaro maya.
vibhutervistaro maya.
Word for word meaning, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Na,
Na
nor,
nor
antaha,
antaha
a limit,
a limit,
asti,
asti
there is,
there is,
mama,
mama
my,
my,
divyanam,
divyanam
of the divine,
of the divine,
vibhutinam,
vibhutinam
opulences,
opulences,
paramtapa,
paramtapa
O conqueror of the enemies,
conqueror of the enemies,
yeshaha,
Eshaha,
all this,
all this,
too,
too,
but,
but,
uddheshataha,
uddeshataha,
as examples,
as examples,
proktaha,
proktaha,
spoken,
spoken,
vibhutehe,
vibhute,
of opulences,
of opulences,
vistaraha,
vistaraha,
the expanse,
the expanse,
maya,
maya,
by me.
by me.
Translation. O mighty conqueror of enemies,
O mighty conqueror of enemies,
there is no end to my divine manifestations.
there is no end to my divine manifestations.
What I have spoken to you
What I have spoken to you
is but a mere indication
is but a mere indication
of my infinite opulences.
of my infinite opulences.
So, with this, the Lord is concluding his descriptions of his opulences, but the Lord is also indicating that he's only given examples to Arjuna of all of his infinite opulences. But the Lord is also saying that there is no end to my divine manifestations. You can see it everywhere and anywhere. That is, if you have the eyes to see. As stated, Prabhupada writes, as stated in the Vedic literature, although the opulences and energies of the Supreme are understood in various ways, there is no limit to such opulences. Therefore, not all the opulences and energies can be explained. Simply, a few examples are being described to Arjuna to pacify his inquisitiveness. Remember, Arjuna has asked, how can I remember you all the time? And in response to that question, the Supreme Lord has spoken about so many different examples of his opulences. From another Vaishnava Parampara, Sri Krishna is now concluding the topic of his opulences. From verses 20 to 39, he has described 82 of his infinite opulences. He now says that he has spoken only one portion, uddeshataha, of the breadth of the topic, vistaraha. The question can be asked, if everything is the opulence of God, then what was the need of mentioning these? The answer is that Arjuna has asked Sri Krishna how he should think of him, and these glories have been described in response to Arjuna's question. The mind is naturally drawn to specialties, and thus the Lord has revealed these specialties amongst his powers. Whenever we see a special splendor manifesting anywhere, if we look on it as God's glory, then our mind will naturally be transported to him. In the larger scheme of things, however, Since God's glories are in all things big and small, one can think of the whole world as providing innumerable examples for enhancing our devotion. A paint company in India would advertise, whenever you see colors, think of us. In this case, Sri Krishna's statement is tantamount to saying, wherever you see a manifestation of glory, think of me. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu writes, in this world also, as per our culture, we find certain things attracting, so we have to understand that attraction is Krishna's opulence. Then there is whether that attraction towards that particular things are taking me closer to Krishna or away from Krishna. So there are certain things that are so attractive in the world that they actually take you away from Krishna. But even that attractiveness is an opulence of Krishna. Culture is specific. Spirituality is universal. Spirituality can manifest in different ways culturally. It's a very important point to understand. Sometimes people fight unnecessarily about the superiority of cultures. They confuse that with spirituality. They assume that culture is actually spirituality. Culture is just a small component of spirituality. Spirituality is a vast topic, it's universal. There is no place in this universe where spirituality is unique to itself. God's opulence is manifested in this world through extraordinary manifestations. So Krishna is giving examples of those manifestations as per cultural and cosmological understanding of time when he came here. So some of the things we may not be able to relate at this time as an opulence of Krishna. For example, Garuda and Indra. Garuda and Indra are not visible to us. They are living in a different planetary system altogether. So when Krishna talks about Garuda and Indra, we don't know what he's talking about. We may not understand, although we've heard about them in the scriptures. Although they exist, but because of our way of education, sometimes we may not be able to relate. But when we read more scripture, we will be able to relate more. Sometimes we are engaged in direct Krishna conscious activities, but in certain situations, when we are amidst material things and when we see extraordinary manifestation through someone, we can understand that it is the vibhuti of Sri Krishna manifesting through that person. We have so many wonderful preachers in ISKCON and in other sampradayas. We have so many young children who have memorized the Bhagavad Gita end to end. We have very young children also who are taken to preaching these days. You can understand that all of this is an opulence of Krishna. They are getting that opulence from Krishna. It's not an opulence of their own. We do not want to be attracted by material things, but something is attracting in our mind or in people's mind. We can understand it is the manifestation of Krishna's opulence. And if this little opulence is so attractive, how much attractive Krishna would be? And if I connect myself to Krishna, how much joyous that would be? If we experience joy and wonder when we see a beautiful flower or a beautiful butterfly or beautiful forests or beautiful mountains, it brings us joy. So can you imagine how attractive Krishna must be? And if we only stay connected to Krishna, how much joy would there be? It would be unending joy for us, unending bliss. So Bhakti Yoga is not the process of rejection. It is the process of connection. Connection to whom? Connection to Krishna. And connection of matter to spirit is exhibited nicely in this chapter of Vibhuti Yoga. So Krishna is giving a lot of examples from matter only to help you think about him. But behind that matter, there is a greater power. That's that spiritual power, and that is Krishna. So very nicely, Krishna has connected matter and spirit in this particular chapter to help an ordinary person Look at matter and be reminded of the spiritual power behind that matter. That is Vibhuti Yoga. How can you be connected? Yoga means connection. How can you be connected to Krishna? Everything you see, something beautiful, something powerful, something unbelievable, you can understand that's a manifestation of Krishna's energy. The list is not exhaustive, but representative. Hence, the Lord uses the word uddeshataha. But the Lord's opulences are infinite, vistaraha. That the examples are not exhaustive testifies to his infinitude. That they are representative implies that they are real. The fact that the Lord has given examples suggests clearly to us that these examples of his opulences are real. It's not imaginary. But the fact that the Lord is not able to describe or does not feel it is necessary to describe all of his opulences because that will take eternity suggests that he is infinite. So, both of them, the fact that there are a few examples given, and the fact that we need to understand through these examples that the Lord's vibhutis are unlimited, they take us towards the real knowledge of Him, thus boosting our spirituality, thus boosting our faith in the Supreme Lord. So, the Lord is concluding all of His opulences by saying, Dear Arjuna, what I have told you is just a few examples. But you must understand that my opulences are infinite because my energy, my divine energy, is infinite.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.